Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Ashby, and welcome to the Lincoln Children's Zoo. Today we are going to be discussing African lions here. So listen well, and I hope you guys have a roaring good time. So we currently have 5 different lions here living at the zoo. We have 2 brothers named Badili and Makucha. The way you can tell them apart is that Makucha is larger than his brother and has a darker mane. Then we have 2 sisters named Rani and Fuli. The way you can tell them apart is that Fuli is lighter in color and Rani, she has a little scar on her left ear. And then we have the smallest and youngest member of the group named Chalan. And she's actually the daughter of Makucha and Fuli. Lions are the second largest big cat species in the world. Only the tiger is bigger than these guys. So, lions can weigh up to 300 to 400 pounds, stand 4 feet tall at the shoulder, and almost 11 feet from nose to tail. What makes lions so unique out of all the cat species is that they're one of the few cats that live and work together in groups. So who here knows what a group of lions is called? That is correct. A group of lions is actually called a pride. So prides, they can consist to as few as 6 members to as many as 20. But there have been records of lion prides reaching up to 30 members, but that all depends on the amount of food that's in their territory. So lion prides, they mainly consist of related female lions. So there'll always be mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and sisters in a pride, because they usually stick together and remain the pride they were born in. And they'll usually be ruled by either 2 to 5 males who are also related to each other, usually brothers that have stuck together and taken over a pride. So the way you can tell them apart is pretty easy. Not only are males larger than females, they're also the only ones who have manes. And actually, a female lioness is called a lioness. The duty of a lioness is to care for the cubs in the pride and also do most of the hunting. Because male lions, they'll rarely participate in a hunt. The only time they will is if they have to hunt to survive on their own, or if they're needed to help take down something big. Because lions are carnivores, so they'll eat almost anything, from a small gazelle to a large water buffalo. But there have been recordings of lions taking down things as big as small elephants and giraffes. So, here's the type of hunting strategy lions use to take down their prey. So they'll usually split up into 2 groups. So one group will go out and hide in some of the bushes, pushed away from the herd, and then the other group will try and sneak up behind the prey, kind of narrow out the kind of weak, old, young members of the group, and then chase after them, trying to separate them from the herd. Because although lions can reach speeds up to 40 miles per hour, they can only maintain that speed for a few minutes before they run out of energy. So they gotta make sure that every ounce of energy counts in a hunt, or else they're gonna go hungry. So after they separate their target from the herd, they'll lead it towards where the other lions are hiding. Then the lions who haven't really participated in the hunt and still have that energy built up, they'll jump out, kind of wrestle their prey down onto the ground, and then go for the throats, so they can cut off its air supply and suffocate it. So lions they can eat up to 40 pounds of meat a day. And it's usually when they're eating, it's usually the male eats first, then the females, and then the cubs. Because males, they need to keep up their energy because their duty is to defend the pride from other predators like leopards and hyenas who will prey on the cubs, and especially rival males. Because throughout their lifetime, male lions will always be challenged by outside males who want to take over their pride. And they've got to fight hard to keep their families alive, because if they lose to an outside male and either kicked out or killed, the first thing that new male will do is that he'll kill the current male's cubs. Although that seems kind of horrific, the male wants to make sure that he's siring his own cubs and not somebody else's. So unfortunately, only 70 to 80% of cubs make it to adulthood. So the typical rule of a male in a pride, it usually lasts for about 2 to 3 years, but that depends on how many males are in a pride. Because if there's more than one, like 2 or 3, they'll have the extra strength to try and drive off any other rival males. But once they reach that 2-year mark, any of the cubs that are still alive, they'll be old enough to defend for themselves. Because once they reach 2 years old, female lions, they will stay with the pride they were born in and help participate in the hunts and caring for other cubs. While the males, they'll usually be kicked out of the pride by the current male because they'll be considered rivals now. So once they're on their own, males, they're gonna have to try and either find and take over another pride, or they'll find another lone lioness who left her pride, mate with her, and then create a new pride of their own. So lions, they used to be found all over Africa, but in the last 2,000 years, they've been hunted down and wiped out to only a few sections of Africa, mainly in national parks where they're protected and preserved. So what do you guys think are the main threats a lion faces out there? So the main threats that lions face out there are poaching and habitat loss. Because poachers, they like to hunt and kill lions for their fur to make clothing and different trinkets. But they've also lost a good majority of their habitat to humans, and now they gotta try and coexist with some of the tribal people out there. So a lot of conservation groups have tried to go out there and educate people on how they can protect themselves and protect the lions as well. So that way they can learn to coexist with these big cats and make sure there are no conflicts between them. So here's some other interesting facts about lions. Did you know that a lion's roar can be heard up to 4 miles away? It's their way of communicating, saying, hey, this is our territory, stay out. Also, the way you can tell the age of a male lion is that you can look at their mane too. So the darker their mane is, that indicates how old they are and also how healthy they are. Because female lions, they'll always be looking for a male that's older and healthy enough to make sure it'll be the one that can defend their family as well as produce healthy offspring. So lions, they usually live up to 25 years in captivity, while in the wild, females, they'll usually make it to maybe 12 to 15 years of age, while males, since they have a harder lifetime, they'll only reach ages of maybe 6 to 8 years max, because they'll either be killed or die out there on their own. And did you guys know that there is a subspecies of lions that live in Asia? Those are called Asiatic lions, and they are a little smaller than African lions, and they have shorter manes. The reason not many people know about them is because there are less than 100 Asiatic lions left in the world, and they're only found in a small section of India, and are protected in a national park. So does anyone else have any other questions? Well, thank you guys for coming, and I hope you guys have a nice day here at the zoo.